Hi children, good morning. Today I am going to teach the first chapter from English, humor. In this humor, a reading is there, the snake and the mirror. In this story, the narrator is a doctor. He had a very close experience with the cobra. So he is narrating his story to others. Come to the first paragraph. Has a snake ever coiled itself round any part of your body? There is a strange question from him. Has a snake ever coiled? So the meaning of the coiled is turned around. So has a cobra ever coiled on your any part of your body? A full-blooded cobra. So the meaning of the full-blooded is very strong cobra. Have you experienced like this? All of us fell silent. Everyone was silent. The question came from the homeopath. The topic came up when we were discussing snakes. So the topic is totally discussing about the snakes. We listened attentively as the doctor continued with the tale. So all of them are listening very attentively. The meaning of the attentively is very carefully. They are all listening very carefully the story of the cobra. It was a hot summer night about 10 o'clock. I had my meal at the restaurant and returned to my room. It was a very summer night and the time was 10 o'clock. He had completed his meal and came back to his room. I heard a noise from above as I opened the door. When he opened the room door, he heard some noise. So the sound was familiar one. So it was a well-known sound for him. One could say that rats and I shared the room. So that is the opinion of others, rats and the narrator. The narrator is a doctor. So rats and doctor are sharing the same room. I took out my box of matches and lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. So he took the matchsticks from the box and he lighted the kerosene lamp on the table. The house was not electrified. There is no electricity in the room. It was a small rented room. He is just paying the rent for that room. I had just set up medical practice and my earnings were meagre. So he started the medical practice. His earnings are meagre. The meaning of the meagre is small in quantity. So very less earnings for him. I had about 60 rupees in my suitcase. There was a suitcase in the room and he had only 60 rupees in the suitcase. Along with some shorts and dhotis, I also possessed one solitary black coat which I was then wearing. So along with 60 rupees, he had shirts and dhotis and he has possessed one solitary black coat. Possessed means he has owned. The meaning of the possessed is owned. The meaning of the possessed is owned. He had one black coat also in the suitcase. I took off my black coat, white shirt and not so white vest and hung them up. All the contents from the suitcase he took outside and hung them up. I opened the two windows in the room. It was the summer night. He opened the doors for the air. It was an outer room with one wall facing the open yard. There is only one wall open the facing yard. It had a tiled roof with long supporting gables. It is a tiled roof and it is supporting with the gables. The meaning of the gable is upper part of a wall below a sloping wall. We can call as a gables. So the room it is supporting by the gables that rested on the beam over the wall. There was no ceiling. There is no ceiling. Only gables are there. There was a regular traffic of rats to and from the beam. So there was a regular traffic. That means narrator wanted to say that there were so many rats in his room. I made my bed and pulled it close to the wall. He made his bed and pulled to the wall. I lay down but I could not sleep because of the noise of the rats. So there is no electricity in the room. He could not sleep. I got up and went out to the veranda for a little air. So he just went outside for a little air. But the wind god seemed to have taken time off. Here, time off is a phrasal verb. It's a time for the rest. Wind god also not supporting him. There is no air in the veranda. The total paragraph described about his room. I went back into the room and sat down on the chair. I opened the box beneath the table and took out a book, the Materia Medica. So he went back into the room. He took out one book. The book name is the Materia Medica. I opened it at the table on which I stood the lamp and a large mirror. A small comb lay beside the mirror. One feels tempted to look into a mirror when it is near. So everyone wants to look their reflection in the mirror. I took a look. In those days I was a great admirer of beauty and I believed in making myself look handsome. So he was very great admirer of the beauty. He was admiring his beauty and believed in making myself look handsome. He wanted to make himself very handsome. I was unmarried and was a doctor. He was unmarried doctor. I felt I had to make my presence felt. I picked up the comb and ran it through my hair and just adjusted the parting, divided the hair. Again I heard that some sound from the above, but he could hear some sound from the above. What is there on the top? Yes, gables are there. There is no ceiling and it is adjusted with the beams. I took a close look at my face in the mirror. I made an important decision. After looking the mirror, he took one important decision. I would shave daily and grow a thin moustache to look more handsome. This was the decision taken by the doctor. So he wanted to shave daily and he wanted to grow one moustache. It is a thin moustache. Moustache is nothing but it is a thin hair on the upper lip, men's upper lip. So I was after all a bachelor and a doctor. So he was thinking I was a bachelor and a bachelor is nothing but unmarried and he was a doctor. So he wanted to make him some more handsome and he took one decision and wanted to shave daily and wanted to grow a moustache on the upper lip. So this was the decision. I looked into the mirror and smiled. So he looked into the mirror and he smiled. It was an attractive smile. He was admiring him. So it was a attractive smile. I made another earth-shaking decision. Earth-shaking. The meaning of the earth-shaking is very surprising decision. What was the first decision? Yes, he wanted to shave daily and grow a thin moustache on the upper lip. Then the next decision is I would always keep an attractive smile on my face. He wanted to keep a attractive smile on his face. That was the second decision. Why he has taken all these decisions? To look some more handsome. Because he was a bachelor and he was a doctor. I was after all a bachelor and doctor too. On top of it, then came that noise from above. Second time also he heard some noise from the above. So what are they above? I got up, lit a beedi and paced up and down the room. Beedi, it is like a cigarette. He lit a beedi. Then another lovely thought struck me. I would marry. There was another thought in his mind and he would marry. I would get married to a woman doctor who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. There was some thought in his mind. He wanted to marry a good medical practitioner and she should have plenty of money with her. She had to be fat for a valid reason. She should be very fat. There was a reason also. If I made some silly mistake and needed to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me. This was the reason. If she is a fat lady, she is not able to run after him. This was a reason he wanted to marry a fat lady. With such thoughts in my mind, I resumed my seat in the chair in front of the table. So all these thoughts there in his mind, he resumed, took back my seat. So there were no more sounds from above. Now there were no sounds from the above. Suddenly there came a dull thud as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. There was a sound, thud. The meaning of the thud is a dull sound made when a heavy object falls. There was a sound when the heavy object falls from the up. So we can get this type of sound, and it is like one rubber tube had fallen to the ground. He felt like a rubber tube had fallen from the top. Surely nothing to worry about. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. There was a snake, fat snake, wriggled over back of the chair. The meaning of the wriggled is moved by twisting and turning. So it was twisted and turned and back of the chair, and at last he landed on his shoulder. The snake's landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. Same time he turned also. He just fell down on his shoulder and he turned. Both actions happened very simultaneously. I did not jump. I did not tremble. I did not cry out. There was no time to do any such thing. So he was just shocked. He was like statue. The snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. So the snake was slithered. Slithered means it moved along my shoulder, coiled around my left arm above the elbow. The hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. There was a hood, the snake's head. So it was just above 3 or 4 inches from my face. That means it is very closer to his face. It would not be correct to say merrily that I sat there holding my breath. I was turned to stone. So he became like a stone, like a statue. But my mind was very active. Physically he became a stone, but the mind was very active. So the door opened into darkness. The room was surrounded by darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. There was totally darkness. Just he lighted the kerosene lamp. In that light he could see that, he could recognize that it was a cobra, and it landed on his shoulder with 4 or 5 inches close to his face. I felt then the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. God was there. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. So it just feeling the presence of the creator of this world, and he is thinking that God is there, and he did not want to say anything to the God. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." So he just wanted to write the letters outside of his heart, "Oh God." There was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick leaden rod, a rod made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. Now his situation is, there was a cobra on his left shoulder. It was some pain. There was a pain, and it was feeling like a thick leaden rod. Leaden rod is nothing but it is made of a lead. So now, no, it is not a leaden rod. A rod made of a molten fire was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. Now the narrative situation is there was a cobra on his left shoulder, so he is getting pain. So he is feeling as if a thick leaden rod. So leaden is nothing but it is made up of lead. So he feeling like a leaden rod. No, it is made up of a molten fire and it was powerfully crushing his arm. It is just crushing his arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. Total strength was gone. He became very weak. What could I do? He's thinking what to do. At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. Death lay 4 inches away. He was just thinking that the death is just 4 inches away. So, suppose it struck, what was the medicine I had to take? So, if it is struck him, what medicine he has to take? Physically he became like a stone, but mind was very active. He was thinking immediately what to do after striking the snake. There were no medicines in the room. There were no medicines also. I was but a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. He forgot his danger situation and smiling feebly at his situation. The cobra was like this. It just turned its head. So in front of the cobra, what was there now? Yes, there was a mirror because he was sitting in front of the mirror and reading the book. So now it had turned its head into the mirror and saw its reflection. I do not claim that it was the first snake that had ever looked into a mirror. He was just surprised that snake was looking at the mirror. But it was certain that the snake was looking into the mirror. Was it admiring its own beauty? Maybe it is admiring its beauty, or was it trying to make an important decision about growing a mustache or using eyeshadow and mascara or wearing a vermilion spot on its forehead? So these are the thoughts he had in his mind. Maybe cobra is thinking about its beautiness or making it or taking a decisions of growing mustache, eyeshadow, mascara or wearing a vermilion. The vermilion is nothing but it is a red spot, red in color, a bright red in color spot on its forehead. I did not know anything for certain. What sex was the snake? Was it male or female? He was just thinking, is it a male or female gender? I will never know, for the snake unwound itself from my arm and slowly slithered into my lap. Now from the shoulder it slowly slithered. Slithered means slowly it moved into his lap. From there it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. From there, it crept onto the table and moved towards the mirror. Now it started moving towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to enjoy its reflection at closer quarters. Maybe it wants to enjoy its beauty. I was no merry image cut in granite. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. So he was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. Now he got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. Now he started jump from the chair to the veranda. From there I leapt into the yard and I ran for all I was worth. So from there veranda he started running. Phew! Each of us heaved a sigh of relief. So this was the story narrating to a group of members. Now everyone took a deep breath. All of us lit BDs. Everyone lit the cigarettes. Somebody asked, "Doctor, is your wife very fat?" So, is your wife is now very fat? No, the doctor said, God willed otherwise. So, what he thought was he wanted to marry a fat lady, but God willed otherwise. My life companion means life partner, is a thin, reedy person. Reedy person. She is not a pleasant person with a gift of a sprinter. The meaning of the sprinter is fast runner. So he wanted to marry a fat lady, but God willed otherwise, and now he married one sprinter. Someone else asked, Doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you? So now that time you ran to the veranda and from there you ran outside, no? That time, did the cobra followed you? The doctor replied, I ran and ran till I reached my friend's house. That midnight he reached his friend's house. Immediately I smeared oil all over myself and took a bath. So totally he applied the oil on all over his body and he took a bath. I changed into fresh clothes. The next day morning at about 8:30 I took my friend and one or two others to my room to move my things from there. Next day morning at 8:30 he took his friends and came to room to move the things, to shift the things from there, but we found we had little to carry, very little things are there. So hardly he had one suitcase and clothes and one coat is there, one book is there, hardly things are there. Some thief had removed most of my things, but we found we had little to carry. So very less things are there in the room because he did not lock his room and ran to the friend's house. So next day morning they had very little things. What happened? Some thief had removed most of my things. So all the things thief had removed. The room had been cleaned out, but not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult. So everything he took off, but one thing he left in the room. What was the thing? What was that? I asked. So somebody asked, what was that? The doctor said, my vest. My vest, the dirty one. Vest is nothing but it is a garment worn under the shirt. So he left the vest there and remaining things he took away. The fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. The rascal could have taken it and used it after washing it with soap and water. He would have taken my vest and after washing with soap and water he could have used my vest. He insulted me. He left one thing in the room. What was that? His vest. Did you see the snake the next day, doctor? The doctor laughed. I have never seen it since. It was a snake which was taken with its own beauty. So that was the snake which was taken with. So taken with means attracted by its own beauty. Why? Because it is not followed to the doctor. The narrator was thinking that the cobra would have attracted by its beauty after looking at the. So this was the lesson written by Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. So he was a Malayalam fiction writer from the state of Kerala in India. He was a humanist, freedom fighter, novelist and a short story writer. He is noted for his down-to-earth style of writing that made him equally popularly among literary critics as well as the common man. He is regarded as one of the most successful and outstanding writers from India. Translations of his works into the other languages have won him worldwide acclaim. The story, The Snake and the Mirror, was translated into English. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 1982. He is fondly remembered as the Beppu Sultan. So this was about the author. Children, read the lesson once again and underline all the hard words. Write the meanings for those hard words from the dictionary. And there was a glossary in your workbook. Learn and write glossary in your notebook. Thank you.